The Salon d'Automne of 1905 was a historical and controversial event. A group of artists decided to put a lot of emphasis on strong colors, which dismissed the painting's representational and realistic values. It was the birth of a new art movement, fauvism, which can be summarized by the use of color as a way of expression rather than representing reality. This was very daring given that only 30 years earlier, Impression Sunrise by Claude Monet sparked controversy because of its lack of detail. These colorful artists were called fauve, which means beasts in French. The name comes from art critic Louis Vaucel, who said of the exhibition that it was Donatello among the beasts. Henri Rousseau, who wasn't a fauve himself, was also featured in the exhibition, and his painting, The Hungry Lion Throws Himself at the Antelope, is probably the reason behind the name beast. That day, Henri Matisse was named a fauve, a beast. Woman with a Hat, which was exposed at the Salon d'Automne, was singled out and was harshly critiqued. It negatively impacted Matisse, yet that didn't stop him from painting one of his greatest fauvist paintings, The Joy of Life. He started painting it after the 1905 Salon d'Automne and finished it in 1906. It's believed to have been inspired by an engraving by Carracci, Love in the Golden Age, which was inspired by a painting by Paolo Fiammingo. This is mostly notable because of the trees framing the painting, the couples in the foreground, but mostly the naked people dancing in a circle. These people will be the subject of another of Matisse's famous artworks, Dance, painted in 1909. The painting grabs the attention with its patches of bright colors. The human figures can be yellow, green, pink, or orange. Some of them can even be outlined by some green or some red. This explosion of colors fits perfectly with the theme of this painting, joy. The composition is triangular, and Matisse is making us travel several diagonal lines to go through this landscape. We first see the embraced couple with, next to them, a woman playing the double flute. You then see someone picking some grass while a woman behind them has a string of flowers hanging over her shoulder. Behind them is two women that appear to have a discussion while looking at these two figures. They're particularly interesting because they stand out from the contrast created by their hair color and the green and red outlines. The linear perspective also makes them look a lot bigger than they should be. Normally, as a subject is further, it looks smaller, but here, these women, though they are further than the subjects in the foreground, they're the same size. It makes these women look larger. Behind them is a flute player accompanied by some goats. Finally, you finish the trip at the dancers in the distance, in the middle of the frame. All these subjects are naked, reminiscing the primal pleasures free of any stress or problems. These people are just relaxing, following the flow of nature, horizontal like the ground or vertical like the trees. What makes them seem even more relaxed is the fact that there is an absence of detail. They've been purified of any imperfections, which makes them very simple and relaxing figures. Matisse was a fauve, and his explosions of color were often seen as aggressive. The critic Camille Mauclair said that these paintings were like a pot of paint had been flung in the face of the public. Yet, if you look at it for long enough, your eye gets adjusted to the colors and you realize how lyrical this painting truly is. The lines and the colors create a pleasing, relaxing flow. This is exactly what Matisse wanted us to feel. He wanted his viewers to be absorbed by the colors.